Shalom, shalom, Israel's brother Zaba. Y'all are coming back at you with another cold cut. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men out there on the highways and byways, right? Help sealing the hopeful elect, right? In this truth day in and day out, not faking it, but actually being in this truth. Shalom, shalom. The mighty sisters as well, the Akwath with Mary with children, guiding the households, bearing the troubles of education, even the single sisters as well, with Yahweh Shai as their head, right? Being very diligent in scripture, shalom, shalom. And the mighty children as well, keeping the commandments, right? Wherever you at in this world, but you're abiding under your parents' households, but you're staying diligent in the faith in the commandments of Yahweh Shai, shalom, shalom. Right? It's going to be a quick cold cut. Are you are you fervent? Are you mature in this truth? Or are you a child? Are you still doing childlike tasks and childlike tendencies in this truth? Right? Did you mature in this truth yet? Are you fervent in the spirit? Let me go to Acts chapter 18 and verse 25. Right? And I'm just going off the spirit. You know, it's kind of been on my mind a little bit. Right? It's Acts chapter 18 verse 25. This man was instructed in the way of the Lord, and being fervent in the spirit, he spake and taught diligently the things of the Lord, knowing the baptism of John. So we may have been instructed in the way of the Lord. The difference is are we serious about it? Do we really believe in what we're saying? Are we really trying to apply the words of the Lord to our lives, which is wisdom, right? We may speak diligently. We may teach different brothers and different sisters and whatever the case may be, but are we ourselves maturing in the Lord, right? Let me read that again. It's Acts 18:25. This man was instructed in the way of the Lord, and being fervent in the spirit, he spake and taught diligently the things of the Lord, knowing only the baptism of John. So a wise man, he's going to fear in everything, right? He's not going to play around with this truth. A man that's mature in the spirit understands through experience that don't play with the Most High and don't play with this truth. I mean, think about all the philosophies, all the doctrines, all the religions in this world, the billions of people. They don't know the Lord. They don't even know his name. You know his name. You know who the Lord is. You know what he requires of you. That's better than choice silver and gold. You have the blueprint of life in your hands. And you have what it takes to keep the Lord's will, man. Are we playing around with this? Are we taking this of none effect? Like it's a grain of salt? Or are we really trying to serve the Most High in body and in spirit? Let me go to 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse number 7. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 7. And not by his coming only, but by the consolation wherewith he was comforted in you, when he told us your earnest desire, your mourning, your fervent mind toward me, so that I rejoice the more. So being fervent in the spirit, you got to be fervent in your mind. You can't play with the Most High or his judgments in your mind, man. You got to really take this thing seriously, and then your actions are going to follow along. Right? You got to be fervent in mind. Right? You can't say it and not do it. You really got to live this thing. Great times and judgments are about to come on the earth for the Israelites, man. And the Lord sees who's fervent and who's still playing games with him, who's still lukewarm, right? Who's still teetering and tottering and putting that persona that you're an Israelite, but around other people you're not, man. The Lord sees these things. Are you fervent or are you not? Let me get another precept. We go to Romans chapter 12 and verse 11. The Lord sees you, sees every inch. Everything is naked before the Lord, right? This is Romans chapter 12 and verse number 11. And it says, not slothful in business, fervent in the spirit, serving the Lord. So if you're serving the Lord, you have to be fervent in the spirit. You have to be serious in the spirit. But if you're serious in the spirit, you're not going to be slothful. All right, if you're slothful in the spirit, you're not going to be fervent. Fervent just means very serious, man, when you go into the definition. You can't be slothful. You got to check that demon. You got to fight your demons. Are you really fighting your demons, or do you just say you do? It's Monday, you fight your demon on Monday. Tuesday, you just let your demons overcome you. Wednesday and Thursday, you may put up a little fight. By Friday and Saturday, you know it's the Sabbath. You just go off secretly. And even if you don't, by Sunday, you're going off. Are you consistent? A mature man and a mature woman, they're going to be consistent. They're going to have a schedule, they're going to have a routine set up. But how much do you care about Yahweh Shem Yahshua to do these different things? Remember, this is life or death. Let me go to Deuteronomy 30 and 19. You have to treat this truth like life or death, man. And we don't got too much time. It's Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19. And it says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. So every day you're presented with what? Life and death. You're presented with what? Sins that you used to do. Or you can walk this path. You're presented with what? Temptations that you really want to get into because of your flesh. Or are you gonna go this way? You're presented with life and death all the time. Let's go to Sirach 21 and verse 2. What did the Lord say though? What did the Lord compare sin to? Let's see if you should play with this. This is Sirach 21 and 2. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. Shlach. For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. The teeth thereof as the teeth of a lion, slaying the souls of men. So sin is like a lion with a great strong teeth. It's like a serpent. It's like a damn anaconda, man. You're not playing, Jake. You're not playing with an anaconda. It come too near you. You walking the other way. We know you, Jake. We know you, Eve. You're not going that way, right? So if that's us on a carnal, fleshly spirit, fleshly platform, right? Lost the words a little bit, but if that's us on a carnal level, that's what I was looking for, on a carnal level. What about the spiritual level? When we're playing with, you don't want to play with sin. You don't want to play with, lasciviousness and covetousness and idolatry. You don't want to entertain these different sins. You don't want to let these sins speak, these demons speak, as the brother Nakram always puts it. You don't want to let these demons speak to you, man. You got to shut that thing down immediately. But that only comes with being fervent in the spirit. That only comes with what? Not being slothful and not being childlike in the spirit. You got to grow up in this truth. We go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. Yeah, you may have known, you found out you're an Israelite. You ate the sweet things. You may even found out some of the bitter things. But what are you doing? You know this information. What are you doing about it? Are you taking this seriously, or you think that the Lord is going to give you just another day on the earth? You're just boasting about another day. You go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 11. Right? I think you got forever to get right, man. You got to be fervent in the spirit. This 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. Right? And we went into in 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 7. You want to be fervent in the mind. A person that's fervent in the mind is not going to think as a child. A person that's fervent in the mind is not going to speak as a child. You can remember your words come from the thoughts that you generate in your mind. So if you're not going to speak as a child, you're not going to think as a child. That means you have a fervent mind. Paul said he did these things as we have done these things too. But what did he say now? And read it on, and it says, "But when I became a man, I put away childish things." When you become mature in this truth, you're gonna put away childish things, man. You're gonna put away things, foolish lust, as the scriptures call it. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 6. All right, let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 6. Let's start at verse. Actually, go to 2 Timothy. I think that's what I want. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 22. Flee also youthful lusts, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. So the Lord said, well, you're going to flee a youthful lust. What is youthful lust? That's childlike lust. That's what things children would do. You don't want to be doing the same things you was doing when you were in the world, or not even trying to cut it off. You was a child in the world. You didn't know this truth. You didn't know better. You were innocent, for lack of better terms, and became ashamed. And now the Lord introduced you to this. Now you know good and evil. What are you still doing evil for? Why are you not fighting these demons? Why are you not taking this seriously? Why do you not understand that this is life and death? Why are you not fearing in everything, as the book of Sirach chapter 18 tells you to do? All right, let me actually pull that real quick. I'm going to go to Sirach chapter 18. And I'm talking to you. I'm talking to myself. We all got to understand it. We all got to mature in the spirit. It's Sirach 18 and 27. A wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning, he will beware of offense, but a fool will not observe the time. A fool is not going to observe the time. A fool is not going to care. Right? But a man that's fervent in the spirit, he's going to observe in everything. He's going to keep time in judgment and discretion, right? He's going to understand time and judgment. I'm going to read that again. In Sirach 18:27, a wise man will fear in everything. Why is he fearing in everything? Because he knows everything is life or death. He knows everything. His soul is on the line. Every day his soul is on the line. Every day her soul is on the line. So she's not playing around with the Lord. You diligently inquire about the laws to make sure you're keeping them well. Diligently inquiring about the Lord so you can increase your faith. Right? But a person that's not fervent, a person that doesn't care, they're not going to take time to do these different things. Right? And it says, a wise man will fear in everything, and in the day of sinning he will beware of offense, but a fool will not observe the time. So this is the time to get fervent. This is the time to get serious in the spirit, man. The Lord blessed you with a lot of different things, a lot of different talents. It's time to use them. We have to understand not to play with the Lord in these last days. Let me go to Deuteronomy 6:16. If he gave you this truth, you woke up today to have another chance of repentance, don't waste that. It's Deuteronomy 6:16, or what? And it says, you shall not tempt the Lord your God as you tempted him, Messiah. So don't tempt the Most High. Right? Don't play around. Don't test the Lord. Don't play around with the Lord, man, because he will expose you. Right? Lord willing, this was edifying. This is a very quick cold cut. Are you fervent, or are you a child in the spirit? I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. I like to bid a mighty strong shalom.